Oh hey foodie friends! So today I'm going to make some game day chili. What used to be called the Washington Redskins, now called the Washington Commanders, is going to be playing later, and the husband asked for chili. So I'm going to use my own home ground chicken thighs. Use whatever, burger, turkey, but this is just something I like to do at home. Make sure there's no bone bits and all that weird stuff in it. Along with some filtered water, a little bit of liquid smoke, because a little bit goes a long ways. Some McCormick fajita seasoning, and I've tried other fajita seasonings, they're awful. So get the McCormick if you can. At the end, you might want to top it with sour cream. That's up to you, but it makes it really good. You can use any kind of beans you like, but even though I do not care for kidney beans, my husband and I must have them in chili. It just makes it part of what chili is all about. And then I mix it with any other kind of bean, just so you have a little contrast in beans. So I'm using pinto beans this time. I'm using organic, salt-free, petite diced tomatoes, or I would do an and or an or. This Rotel, it's got a little spice to it, no salt, because all the stuff, if you can get it salt-free, try to do that, I'm telling you, because you're going to add your own seasonings anyway. So I'm going to set that aside because I won't be using that today. And I like to use organic crushed tomato, not sauce, because it's already going to be kind of soupy anyways, so you want it to have a little thickness to it, and I use this for spaghetti sauce too. Onion powder, which has no sodium. Ground cumin, which has no sodium. Garlic powder or granulated, it's kind of the same thing. Again, no sodium in that, no salt, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you get onion salt and garlic salt, then it's going to be too salty. So just go with the regular powders. A little bit of Lowry's seasoning, just a little bit. And you can taste as you go. Remember, you can always add, but you can't take away. Some chili powder, just to give it that extra chili flavor. A little bit of sugar. Just like I do in spaghetti sauce, that kind of takes away the acidity of the tomatoes. Some cayenne pepper, and the organic green pepper, and a big old sweet onion. The husband opted for these crackers to have with it. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my ground chicken started. And if you haven't tried it with ground chicken, I think you'll really like it. It's so tender and so much easier on the belly than beef. And over the years, I've learned that using 2 spatulas in many instances when you're cooking something in a pot is better than 1 or 1 stirring spoon, because you can kind of go like this as it's cooking. You just flip it that way. It's just easier. I'm going to chop up the onions and the peppers, but I'm not going to do them too fine because I want them to be seen and noticed in the chili. Starting to get that sizzle going. Now for the onions. It's chopped up, but they're just sort of stuck together at first, and they kind of fall apart as you cook them in there. And that's where the 2 spatulas kind of comes in handy. You just smash things around. Let's see, you turn it over. Helps to get more of an even cook on everything. I used to sit there with the stir spoon and stir, 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 and half of it would come out of the pot, and it wasn't mixing evenly. So just give it a good mixy-mixy. The fat that's in the chicken thighs will be plenty of oil to cook these vegetables down. So we're going to cover it, keep a check on it, stir it every once in a while. I'm going to do like a medium to medium-high heat, and then when it's done, we're going to put everything else in, so stay tuned. I'm not going to strain the juices out of here because I want that. It's almost like a chicken broth sort of mixed in there. A little bit of fat, you need some of that to make a good chili. I'm going to cook it till the onions and peppers are getting softer, but not totally soft, because then I'm going to simmer it for a long time with all of the other ingredients in there. So get ready for that. So you can just kind of cut through They're cutting through a little bit. I just want the green peppers to be a little bit softer. I was never a huge fan of green peppers, but they sure are good in things like this and spaghetti sauce, stuff like that. But I want them to be soft. You don't want anything crunchy in your chili. I believe official chili, like when you do chili contests, don't involve beans, but most of us, I think at least in the US, like it with meat and beans. Okay, so I think it's ready for all the other ingredients. Things are pretty soft, but not too soft. So I'm turning the heat down a little bit, just a little bit, because we want it to still do a good hard simmer, not just a light simmer. And again, you can do this to the measurements that you prefer. This is how I'm going to do it. And I do choose to rinse out the goopy stuff that's in with these canned beans. It's just weird for me. I just rinse it out a little bit, then pour it in. Turn this down a little bit. Give it a mixy-mixy, and then I'm going to put in all the other stuff. Don't do too many beans. 2 medium cans is plenty. You might even want to just do 2 small cans or use half a can. Depends on what you like. Or you might not want beans at all. But this is a meat and bean chili. All right, so when it comes to the seasonings, if you recall in the past, I like to put them in a little bowl and not shake it right over top because all that steam will get up in your seasoning jars. Now the fajita seasoning, it's going to be thrown away, so it doesn't matter. Dump that in. Onion powder, how much? I don't know, about that much. You can always add, but you can't take away. Cumin powder. Little goes a long way on that, plus there's some cumin powder in that fajita mix. So I'll put a little bit in for now. Garlic powder. Lowry's salt, just a little bit. Chili powder. Cayenne pepper. Not too much. And sugar or stevia or nothing, but I like to put sugar in it. Gives it a nice flavor, and like I said, it cuts some of that acidity from all the tomatoes. And just a little few dashes of liquid smoke. Again, a little goes a long ways with this, so like that. That's it. We're gonna mix it all up. And you can taste it at any point because everything's safe now to taste. The meat's all cooked down. And again, these 2 spatulas, you know, use 2 spoons if that's all you got, but the 2 spatulas kind of scoops everything up real nicely. Mixes all the seasonings better than just stirring it around with 1 spoon. The chili powder gives it a little bit more of a darker color too. Makes it look more like chili. And my guess is it might need more. We'll find out when we taste test it. It definitely needs more salt and chili powder. That's why you taste test and then add. So I'm adding more seasoned salt. And you can use regular salt. Some more garlic powder. And it's not even close to being spicy enough, so a little bit more cayenne. More chili powder. Sugar. Now it's just the husband and I, but you can freeze it and serve it later. It freezes pretty well. I haven't made this in a long time, and I thought I had put it on YouTube, but I think it was so long ago, it's just not there anymore. So I figured I'd make it again and show you guys how I do it. I know it's getting hotter and hotter, as in temperature hot, so I gotta be careful. Ooh, it's got the spice now. Just enough though, and that's why you wanna just taste as you go. If you don't like spicy, don't put any cayenne pepper in it. And that chili powder has spice in it too, of course. I'm on the fence of putting just a smidge more fajita seasoning in, but I'm not sure yet. And the nice thing is I can let it cook down a little bit, taste it again, and wait. Some people like to cook this a day ahead of time, let it kind of sit and marry in the fridge and reheat it. Same thing as like lasagna, it just seems to be better the next day. But this is still gonna be really good. So I am accosting Brian while he's minding his own business in the man cave to have him taste test it and see what he thinks. Go ahead and give it a try.
It's not much of a man cave if you have access now, is it? So let me try our chili.
It's still got to cook down for a while.
That's good.
I've got all kind of stuff going on in there, but in your opinion, what would you like to see more or nothing?
Probably a bigger bowl.
All right, we'll have.
That's good. I like it.
Oh, good. So we'll have that at the football game. And when does the filtered water come in? I'm just going to put a little bit because we don't want it to be too soupy, but we don't want it to be too gloppy either. And if you put too much in, you just leave it uncovered and it evaporates out. But always keep some filtered or whatever kind of water nearby to add to it. I mean, it's technically done, but you simmer it until you think it's just the way you want it. So stay tuned for our final taste testing at dinner. So I needed to open a new onion powder just for the future, just to have it ready to go. And I have tried different powders, onion powder, garlic powder, different things, and certain brands I like better for certain things. For onion powder, Badia is to me the best. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know. What cracks me up is when you go to open a new one, you take off the top, you pop off this little thing, because you got this little thing. And I'm sitting here, you can't get your finger up under, there's no little pull tab. You just, like I said, when we get older, we're just going to starve to death because we can't get anything open. So you can get a knife where you just keep digging and digging until you bend your fingernails off. Oh, look, see? That's a mean trick. Look at that. Gotta get in there. All right, I gotta bust out the knife. I mean, what in the world? Can they make it any harder to use their product? I'll pop the top back on, make sure it's on good. Yeah, see, it wasn't on all the way. You don't want to dump all that in your next meal. There you go. An old person survival tip, how to open a nearly impossible new bottle of onion powder. Been letting it simmer for, oh, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so on very low. But you want it to be bubbling, just to let everything cook together. And it doesn't look too soupy at all. It's got to have some soupiness to it. I think it's going to be just right. Stay tuned for the final testing. Okay, so we're going to do the official taste testing. Brian, you go first.
All right, let's see what we have here.
And I had to put some of this cheese in because this Tillamook is really good.
Wow, that's really good.
Now mix the sour cream in a little bit and see what you think. This is what it looks like. Show them what it looks like with your sour cream all mixed up. Yum.
It's very good. It passed the test. We'll try it with a cracker.
Yeah, he had a choice of cracker or cornbread and he chose crackers. Okay, now it's my turn. I'm going to give it a try. Mix it all up. I wasn't going to do that cheese, but I'm telling you, this is a creamier than your average cheese, and I've discovered it recently. That's what it looks like. That is very good. Just a tad spicy, a little more than a tad because all that stuff I put in it. Let's try it with a cracker. Of course, I love club crackers. Really good. I love these even more because they're like club crackers, but they're store brand and they're cheaper. So if you like these kind of videos, it would be a huge honor to have you subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.